In this video, we're going to talk about how do we manage and organize these users. We talked about the need for that in the last video. So let's go ahead and start. Livingstone, they have a lot of different structures in their company and organization. They have their department structure. Livingstone has different hotel and resorts groups, and they need that hierarchy for that as well, as far as what regions those hotels are located in. And finally, there are the different rewards groups. So how are we going to do this with Liferay DXP? And the answer is simply Liferay organizations. Basically, organizations give you the ability to organize your users hierarchically. And this would be according to the real-world structure of different companies. How this works is that you can add users to organizations, and just because a user is a member of a child organization, for example, these orange ones here at the bottom on this picture, it doesn't mean they're necessarily going to be a member of a parent organization in Liferay. You will need to add them to both. However, organization administrators have the ability to manage all the users in their organization as well as all sub-organizations. So we could refer to these as parent and child relationships or organization and sub-organization. But the basic idea is, as an organization administrator, you have the functionality to manage all of the users throughout your company. And a common use case you will find is that you actually want to have a specific site for an organization. And in Liferay, you can do that. You can create what's called an organization site. When that happens, the organization administrator also becomes the site administrator and now has the ability to manage the pages and content on that site. Likewise, not only organization administrators, but also just regular members of the organization, they're going to become members of that site, giving them access to the basic site permissions, as well as the private pages of that site. So there's organizations. The other concept we need to understand in Liferay is called user groups. User groups are specifically, well, there's no hierarchy involved here. So let's say you have a team in your company that has members from different departments and they're all joining together, collaborating to accomplish one goal. You could use the user group for that kind of thing. By default, these user groups are going to be created when an LDAP group is imported. And again, you can turn that on or off, like we talked about last time under instance settings, under configuration. In addition to that default user group that's created when you import from LDAP, you can also just create those manually, create new groupings for your specific purpose. In addition to organization sites, likewise, we also have user group sites. What's a user group site? Well, users have a profile and dashboard under their personal menu. If you'll remember that from previously, a user group site is just the template of pages that is added to the user's profile and dashboard. If you want to show a different profile and dashboard to different users, you can group them into user groups and then create a specific user group site that contains that specific content for them. Now, while we're talking about user and user management, it's good just to remember that Liferay wants to be GDPR compliant. Certain companies, if you're not aware, if you're under the jurisdiction of the European Union, you have to comply with the general data protection requirement. And we want to emphasize that Liferay is business ready. We incorporate strong data protection and security capabilities, so we can help your business move into GDPR compliance. All right, that's it. So we're at our knowledge check. There's different ways to group your users in Liferay. Which one of those gives the ability to make this user hierarchy according to real-world structures in your companies? And which feature is a logical grouping of users that traverse the organizational structure? In addition, what do we call the sites that can be created in conjunction with an organization? So when you're creating an organization, you also have the ability to create what? To link with that organization. What is the template of pages that is added to the profile or dashboard of every user group member under the personal menu? The answers are organizations. This is where we talk about hierarchy. User groups, These are the teams or logical groupings that have cross-cutting concerns. And then finally, when you're creating these user groups, when you're creating these organizations, you also have the ability to tie them to organization sites and user group sites. All right, that wraps it up for this video. See you in the next one.